Let's get to Zach Underwood taking on Chris Coggins. This is going to be a fight at lightweight. Two fighters here. You'll be happy about this, Big Tuna. They have winning records.
Yes.
Underwood, 9 wins, only 4 losses. Chris Coggins, 6 wins, only 2 losses. This is actually a rematch. Underwood and Coggins fought back in May of 2009. It was Underwood's second professional fight. Coggins won a unanimous decision in May 2009. So, big rematch here. It's the classic Coggins versus Underwood. Two guys you've probably never heard of, but they're going to be fighting each other for the second time. Zach Underwood is coming off a TKO victory in the very first round over Jimmy Van Horn. 4-7 Jimmy Van Horn. That was on May 19th of this year in South Haven, Mississippi. Underwood has 6 of 9 wins via decision with 3 knockouts. He has lost 4 times, 3 times via decision, and knocked out once. He made his pro debut in 2009. This will be his Bellator debut. Underwood is from Nashville, Tennessee. Coggins is from Clarksville, Tennessee. He made his pro debut in May of 2009. He is coming off a submission armbar victory over a 9-2 fighter named Austin Lyons on June 23rd in Memphis in his last bout. Coggins has 4 of 6 wins via submission with 2 decision victories. He has lost twice in his career, 1 knockout to a 6-7 fighter named Harry Johnson, and 1 decision to 8-0 fighter Nick Newell on April 13th of this year. Nick Newell, a pretty tough guy.
He's also missing a part of his hand.
Yeah, that's right. But he's undefeated.
Yeah.
And he's pretty tough. So Coggins and Underwood here, an interesting fight. Coggins won the first one. I'm gonna think that he's going to win this one as well.
See, I think I'm going to swing the other way. I'm going to go with Underwood, and the reasons being that, 1, he's never been submitted in his 13 bouts. He's got 3 knockouts, and Coggins has been knocked out in one of his losses. So I'm going to go with Zach Underwood.
All right, well, I'm going to go the other way with the Coggins because he beat him the last time they fought, and it was only 3 years ago, so what the hell. Let's get to Joe Williams taking on Andy Uhlrich. This one at welterweight. Williams is 6-0. Uhlrich 7-3. Williams coming off a submission victory over a 5-2 fighter named Vince Alalatoa. That was in September, though, of 2011 in the state of California. So the guy has not fought in almost a year now. He's got 3 of 6 wins via knockout, 2 submissions, and 1 decision. Made his pro debut only in January of 2011 and actually fought 6 times in that year. All of his victories in 2011. He hasn't fought yet in 2012. He's 27 years old, making his Bellator debut. He comes from Orange, California. His opponent is from Memphis, Tennessee. A lot of Tennessee guys on this card. He's coming off a submission victory as well. He beat an 11-9 fighter named Joshua Thorpe on May 19th of this year. He's got 4 of 7 wins via knockout, 2 submissions, and 1 decision. So both of these guys like to knock people out, but also capable of getting submission wins. Uhlrich has lost, though, 3 times in his career, twice via tap out, once via KO. He actually lost a submission to a UFC fighter, Jake Hecht, who currently fights in the UFC. That was in 2009. So Uhlrich here, I think he's faced tougher competition in the past, but he's lost 3 times. Williams, I don't know if he's facing very tough competition, but he's undefeated. He's submitting people. He's knocking people out.
And 6-0 in 2011 alone. He last fought in September of 2011, which means that he fought 6 times in 9 months.
That's pretty crazy.
I'm going to have to side with Joe Williams on this one.
But, you know, it's just a weird layoff for Joe Williams, right?
Perhaps an injury.
Yeah, could have been.
It's obviously it's questionable. There's always that cage rush factor that always is the situation. I just think that there is something to be said about a 6-0 fighter that is finishing fights.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Joe Williams as well. Only 1 of his 6 wins via decision. The rest finishes, 3 knockouts, 2 submissions. I think he'll be able to take Andy Uhlrich, who's been submitted twice and knocked out once. So there is that history there. We move on to another welterweight preliminary bout. This one is Kelvin Tiller, a 4-1 fighter, taking on a 3-6 fighter named Amaechi Oselukwue, which is an interesting name. Amaechi Oselukwue has a 3-6 record. That's all you need to know. I'm going with Kelvin Tiller. Kelvin Tiller, rather.
Well, Kelvin Tiller actually defeated Jeremiah Riggs via submission,
Of
Kimura.
course. We know Jeremiah Riggs. He tried to be a pro wrestler when his MMA career didn't work. His pro wrestling career didn't work, so he went back to MMA, and that's not working out for him. He keeps losing.
Yeah, he just lost 2 in a row, and that was actually kind of a questionable call. He was in a Kimura, and he let out a scream, which was considered by the referee a verbal submission in May of this year. Nonetheless, Tiller, three submission victories, riding that 4-fight win streak, losing his first pro fight. He's 2-0 in Bellator. He has been knocked out, though, which is, questionable. I'm not even going to try to pronounce Oselukwue.
I'm calling him Oselukwue.
Oselukwue.
This guy has lost 5 of his last 6. He's coming off a decision loss. He's lost 4 times via decision, only knocked out once and submitted once, so I guess he might be tough to finish. He's from Memphis, Tennessee. I think he's getting the call because he's a local fighter, and I think he's going to get smashed by Kelvin Tiller. I like Tiller to win this one. He's fought in Bellator before. Oselukwue has not. Oselukwue's lost 5 of his last 6. I mean, come on, man. Come on. This guy should not be on this card. This is a mismatch.
Yeah, more like 6 of his last 7, or 6 of his last 7 after this bout.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Why is a 3-6 fighter fighting a 4-1 fighter? It's just nonsensical. I don't understand what Bellator's doing, but a couple of these fights just don't make sense.